Hey guys, Lane here from Maker's Lane. I just finished this beautiful pergola on the third tier of my deck as part of my deck project series. Well, now that I have all this space, I think what would go nice here is a Hibachi Grill. Let's get started. So I don't have any plans for this at all, mainly because I don't know the exact dimensions of this yet. So the first thing I need to do is get it out of the box, see what it comes with. So obviously I could just put this together and be done, but what fun would that be? So what I'm actually gonna do is gonna be Hibachi Grill with seating around it, so it's gonna be like a bar type thing. Just like if you went to a Japanese steakhouse, it'd be the same type thing where you like sit around it and they serve you the food. So that's what I wanna do for this. It's gonna be outdoors and it's going to go on my deck, so I want it to match the deck and I want it to be able to, you know, survive the weather and everything. This one I had, it came with a hood, because I want it to be kind of like a Japanese steakhouse one. I'm not gonna have the hood. Obviously it comes with legs and a whole, you know, stand and everything. I wanna take that off. I basically want it to sit in with the bar and be flush with the bar. The main thing it's gonna be built out of is wood. It'll have metal accents to match all my other projects that I did up on the deck. So I'm gonna take it out, see what I'm gonna use, what I'm not gonna use, and we'll go from there. And once I figure out the dimensions and everything, I can go to the hardware store, get everything I need, and then we can come back and start building. So let's get this thing over. Yeah. That boy's heavy. So here's most of what came out of the box. Obviously we got the bottom, we got some legs. The main two things I care about are this guy and this guy. So this is the actual grill part, this is a propane. It heats up this top part, and this is your cooking surface, which this thing is solid. So I need to measure this, which is 36 inches. I'm going to add 16 inches. Do you think that's enough counter space? You think 16 inches? Think that's gonna be enough? Yeah, whatever. All right, so I'm gonna go with 16 inches all the way around, which basically brings this to 68 inches. So that's how big it's going to be. 38 inches deep. 38 by 68 is the total footprint of this thing. So now that we have those measurements, let's go to the hardware store, get some wood, and then we can come back here and start building. So I got all the wood. First thing I'm gonna do is build the frame, so let's get started with that. got a platform and a frame built for the basic shape of this, I can move on to building the frame for the outside here. So yeah, let's go ahead and frame that up. Framing for the most part is complete. The next thing I'm going to do is add the top platform. So let's go ahead and do that. Countertop done. I got the sides in. Next I want to work on the bottom space here. I want to put a cabinet in here so it's all concealed underneath. These are what came with it. I want it to match everything up on my deck and everything's black. So I plan on painting these all black, including this. Basically everything but the top that's metal I'm going to paint black. So I need to figure out a way to attach this to the front. I also, after standing with it and kind of getting a feel of how it looks now that the countertop's on and everything, I'm not really happy about the height. I decided I wanted it about 4 inches higher, mainly because it's too tall for like a seat, and then it's too short for like a stool. So right now it's kind of in between, and I want it up a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the old hardware, use it to raise it about 4 inches. So I need to put all that hardware on before I go to rough this in, mainly because these spaces back here are opened and this is where I want to mount it, so I need to mount like a 2x4 back behind here. So I'm going to go ahead and put those in, then I'm going to put a platform down here, and then I'm going to add the front drawer. The last thing I'm going to add to this is going to be some metal accent pieces that are going to go along the entire outside perimeter of it. Those are the next couple of steps I'm going to take. Hopefully I can get through it pretty quickly and doesn't take too long to make. cabinets are all mounted together. The next thing I want to do, I want to add a couple features to it. This is an old butcher block that I had lying around. I want to make a slot here and basically have it so you can pull it out for a cutting board. And then I also have this magnetic strip that I want to put here so that I can attach knives and spatulas and anything else that I want. So I'm gonna add those next. And then once we're done with that, I need to go on the inside and add the drainage for this. And then also there's a propane hose that I need to cut a hole in. So those are the next couple of things I'm gonna work on. But first I'm gonna work on the butcher block. So now that I got the cutting board, the magnetic strip, and all the holes cut for the table, the next thing I'm going to put on here is these metal strips. Basically, they're just going to be some accent pieces. They're going to sit on here like this. So I'm going to go through and route the whole table so that this sits flush here and here, so that there's no transition at all. And then I'm going to weld them while they're on here. All right. almost done grinding all of the metal on here, and I ran into a couple things that I'm not really happy about. It's not so much here, you can't really see it, I thought you could. But like this piece right here, for instance, this piece, it like doesn't sit down in there like it's supposed to, and it can come up. And then like this piece, it's anyways, I was seeing all this stuff, and I think I came up with a clever idea to fix it. So I was thinking, oh, I can glue it down, and obviously originally I was hoping that the whole frame together would just lock it into place. So since it doesn't, let me show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my drill. So I drilled a hole, and I got a screw in place. This is the part, obviously I don't want that screw head sitting out, so here's where I'm going to fix that. I take my welder, weld it into place, and grind it down. Now, once I go and add some paint, you won't be able to see that at all. So I gotta do that a couple more times throughout this whole project, just kind of in random places that I think either it's gonna need it or it already does need it. And once I'm done with that, I'm gonna go stain all the wood except for the cutting board. That I'm just gonna cover in some mineral oil. But all the metal, including like the grill, the logo, like everything on the metal that's metal on here, I'm going to paint black. And then I'm gonna put like 3 or 4 coats of varnish on. That'll basically be it. Let's go. All right, here it is. Honestly, I could not be happier with the results of this project. This grill is exactly what I wanted. Functionally, it's just amazing. I mean, how good everything looks is just, it's incredible. I'm super happy. A couple things I would have started out differently. I would have originally made it 4 inches taller. Once I got a feel for it after I had built it, I could tell it wasn't the right height. Also, when I raised it up, I used the wheels from the grill kit. Those legs were not strong enough to hold the weight up on a constant basis. As you can see, I put some spacer blocks underneath just to hold it up off the wheels. The other thing that I ended up changing was originally I was gonna make it a 16-inch counter space. Well, I ended up going with an 18-inch. That 2 inches, I mean, I don't think it really mattered that much, but it does help with the whole overall feel of it. But other than that, like, those are my only two real major issues with the whole thing. Two of my favorite features, which were complete afterthoughts, would have to be the slide out cutting board and then the magnetic strip over here. I've got to use it a couple times now, and one thing I would say is make sure that you invest in a cover for it. I ended up having to go with a Patio furniture cover. I mean, it was basically 8 foot by 4 foot, so that I could cover this up, because when it rains, all the water goes down and then ends up in your catch pan underneath. So to help that not happen, you're gonna wanna go and put a cover on this. The fact that it matches everything else on my deck just makes this project even more amazing. Although I'm not finished with my deck series, it's becoming fall, which means it's becoming colder, where I like to start doing indoor projects when it's cold out, working in my shop. There is one more project video I will release for this one. The last project video I'm gonna release for this series is gonna be these bar stools, just to go around here. I'm gonna make 6 of them. That video will be coming shortly. This project is one of my favorite projects that I've done so far. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave me that thumbs up. Make sure to check out the rest of the videos in this series. I have the pergola, there's a fire table, and there's a couple other projects. Make sure to hit the subscribe so that you see more videos like this. Until next time, I'm Lane from Maker's Lane. You guys have a good one.